My name is Bonnie, and I'm a speech-language pathologist, and I'm also a classroom instructor. And I have the privilege of working with an amazing and amazingly diverse population of deaf and hard of hearing college students. In my role as a speech-language pathologist, I really care about communication and effective communication and connecting with others in a meaningful way. So I'm constantly on the lookout for new tools and resources and communication strategies that may be out there that I can then pass along to my students to consider as options to add to their toolkit of communication strategies through their app. We were excited to explore the idea of Ava because there's definitely a need and a frustration among my students in the challenges they face when it comes to interacting with a group of hearing individuals and trying to keep up with that spoken communication and those conversations where topics tend to shift rapidly and speech reading is nearly impossible when you have multiple people speaking at the same time. So this was an exciting resource. A few things that I really like about Ava are, first of all, it's the convenience. The convenience of being able to pull out a resource that's right in your pocket or in your purse, and the reality that in likelihood that nearly everybody around you probably has their smart device with them. So it's a great solution for when you find yourself in a communication situation where you need something last minute or right away on the spot. I like that. And I also appreciate the visual cues that it allows for and provides the user to more quickly and smoothly follow along with the text as it's transcribed. And it color codes different users' speech in different color patterns, so you're able to see who said what. And in real time, it does highlight the speech that's being produced in that moment, which is another great asset for being able to follow along with the speech that's happening in that moment. Perhaps my favorite feature is really a byproduct of when you use it, it really does create a sort of buy-in from all of the communication partners around the table or wherever you may be, meaning that the hearing individuals, as they open up the app on their phone, they're really contributing to the partnership of ensuring that communication is clear. So if you can get them convinced to download the app and open it up and be mindful that everybody's using this strategy together, it creates more camaraderie and I think levels the playing field with who's responsible for the communication success, and it puts the onus, the ownership really on everybody around the table, and that's great. My classroom, and currently I'm using Ava in the version of the web application, and because I have all deaf and hard of hearing students, and some of them are using cochlear implants and hearing aids to access my voice through Audition. Others don't use any amplification and are relying on my signing, and some are using a little bit of both. There's a great need to get creative with, I don't know, finding any avenue of communication and to provide everybody in their individual preferences and needs, and trying to match what they need and getting them better access. So because I have all deaf students in the class, I set up a laptop and I connect that to a projector, and I'm actually projecting the transcription of my speech as I lecture up on a screen. So in my classroom I do have two screens, one that I can just leave set up and it's dedicated to projecting Ava, and the second one is where I can run my PowerPoints or other teaching tools. Bluetooth accessibility connected with the app, which would eliminate the need to have the wired microphone. Classroom, if you happen to have one or two or a handful of deaf students mixed in with a classroom of hearing students, then you may not need to have the whole transcript projected on the wall for everybody to see. So in that situation, you probably would want to have the students have access to their own laptops, and they can open up their laptop, connect with the app that it runs on your phone, and then everything you say will pop up right on their desk as they're reading along on their laptop screen. So there are a lot of traditional communication accessibility options that are out there for the classroom. Historically, obviously interpreting. If you have a deaf student who uses sign language as their mode of communication, you can hire an interpreter, and that's one option that works really well. And sometimes, though, you have a deaf student who does not use sign language, so in that case, the interpreting's not going to work. And there are often scheduling issues. You know, it's personnel resources. Sometimes there aren't enough interpreters to fulfill all the needs. So captioning, real-time captioning, is another traditional method that's been used in recent times, and that's proven to be effective for sure. Some perks to using Ava, you know, assuming that the speech recognition accuracy continues to improve and advance, it really is fast. It's faster than a person could type, sitting there transcribing everything that is being spoken in the room. So technology is definitely on our side when it comes to speed, and that's a beautiful thing. And so because Ava fits in your pocket, it provides opportunities to apply it and use it in different scenarios. So in addition to using Ava in the classroom, you can use it at home, at parties, anywhere you may roam. And I've had students share some really cool stories about how they've taken Ava home and sat down with their hearing grandmother, who they've for their whole lives, you know, struggled to really engage with at a deeper level because of a communication barrier. The student himself was deaf and from a deaf family, minus the grandmother who was hearing. So signing was their way of life and their language, and the grandmother knew some sign, but really the level of their interaction couldn't get too deep. And so he was excited. He took Ava home and visited with his grandmother, asked her to speak into his phone, and they just had a great conversation, sharing about how he was doing in school, what his plans were for the future. And I was just really excited to hear his feedback and to hear how his grandmother really enjoyed speaking into his phone and just seeing that they were understanding each other at a whole new level. And that was just awesome. So again, just having this, as long as you have an internet connection, this can be used in so many ways. And I know that there are even other countries where education for the deaf and communication options for the deaf really are limited or don't even exist. And that's a horrible tragedy. And that would be my hope for the future, you know, that Ava would continue to develop and improve and become a trustworthy resource that even deaf individuals in third world countries, you know, if they can get access to the internet and somebody donates a mobile device, this would open up a whole new world of opportunity in so many ways. Final words to those of you who are deaf or hard of hearing out there is to be proud of who you are. Be proud of your communication modality, your preferences, and how you communicate. You have so much to offer, whether you sign, whether you speak, whether you listen, use cochlear implants or hearing aids, or a combination of the both. You have significant contributions to make to our society